Hello and welcome to Game Week 10 weekend preview. That's the Premier League weekend preview. We've got the Manchester derby this weekend, so we've got a lot to talk about on that one. I will be attending this one with the first ever derby that I'll be ever attending, so I'm excited for that one. We've also got games like Chelsea versus Brentford, Arsenal versus Sheffield, so we've got to get a few games to talk about. We've also got Spurs versus Palace, which is going to be the first game that I'm going to talk about here. But before I do, please like the video, share it out to people, and subscribe if you haven't already. These are coming every Tuesday. Well, every Thursday for the previews. Every Tuesday I will do a review on those games of the weekend. So please subscribe and we'll get straight to it. So we've got Palace versus Spurs, as I've already mentioned. That's kick-off on Friday. They did just play on Monday. However, for some reason, because of the TV deals, they will be playing Friday. And it's going to... They might have a few unrested players with Spurs. But we'll have to see what happens with that. Ange Ball is in full effect at the minute. They're playing absolutely amazing Spurs. Don't look like they're going to get beaten anytime soon, in my opinion. And I don't think the hype train is going to stop from the Spurs fans. They're really excited with the football. Even I'm enjoying watching them when they are on TV. So when I do get a chance to see them, they are playing really good football. Maddison and Son, they're absolutely smashing it at the minute, and I can't see them slowing down. The assists that they're both creating, the goals, the chances that they're getting to other players, it's just really good football. And the signings of Van de Ven, Romero, Vicario at the back makes him look a bit more solid. Obviously, Romero's been with him for a while now, but he looks a lot better of a player. So, Harry Kane not being in the squad, was that holding him back? I don't think I'd say they're holding him back, but they look like a different side now. Is that the effect of the manager? I think it is. But the signing of Maddison has to be the best signing this season by a mile at the moment. So I'm going to go with a Spurs win against Palace here. Palace are going to potentially have Elise back, but I just don't think they're going to have the attacking power that they're going to want. I don't think he'll start, but I do think he'll give them a bit more of a bounce back up front. They need Eze back as well. If they get Elise and Eze together, I think they can start scoring again, but at the moment they just don't look like they're going to score. And I'm going to go with the Spurs 3-0 win. Next game, we have got Chelsea versus Brentford. Now, Chelsea are unbeaten in the last 4 games. They actually look like a good side again. They look like they're starting to get together. The signings they've made, they just seem to be a lot better. Cole Palmer starting to settle into the squad. He's their penalty taker by the looks of it now. Sterling's getting into positions. Mudrik's just started scoring a couple of goals. So you never know with Chelsea, but I do think they look like they are back. Aaron Hickey could be returning for Brentford in that game, so he's just served his, well, I said could be, he's just served his suspension, so he will return for this game. Will he start? That's the question, but I do think he will. And I think Brentford have something to fight for now. They played okay, but they've not been brilliant. And I think players like Jensen has been thriving on the games at the moment, but just nothing else with them. They're missing Ivan Toney massively. Obviously, he's not going to be back till January at least. So I'm going to go with Chelsea win here. I'm going to go Chelsea 2-1. Think Chelsea defensively might still be lacking, but they have got the attacking, starting to get the attacking right. Next game is Arsenal versus Sheffield. That's 3 o'clock kickoff. Arsenal still remain unbeaten after the game against Chelsea last week. Arsenal will be carrying the high from that, just because they should have been beaten. Chelsea should have won that game. Raya looked absolutely shocking, in my opinion. He looks really scared to be on the ball. As soon as he touches the ball, he looks like he wants to get rid of it. He looks so uncomfortable when he actually holds the ball. He just doesn't have confidence at the minute. And Ramsdale, I'm not too sure why he's even been dropped in the first place, to be honest. I think he makes a couple of mistakes, but he's shithousery really kind of edges that team and gives them a bit more spirit, gets the fans riled up a bit more, and I think he can wind up a few players with that as well. So I don't know why he's not their number one keeper, but will he start Raya? I'm not too sure. I think it should be time for Ramsdale. Don't think he's got any injuries or anything. So I think Ramsdale should come back into the squad. But Jesus is a potential doubt for Arsenal in this game. He pulled his hamstring in the midweek. So will he play? That's questionable. I don't think he will. I think he'll be Nketiah will start over him. And then I don't think Sheffield United are going to hold him off at all. Sheffield United, again, they've been struggling. United actually made him look really, really good the other day. I think it's going to be a thrashing for Arsenal, and I think it's going to be 4-0 or higher for Arsenal against Sheffield United. Bournemouth versus Burnley. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff. There's a lot of talks of Bournemouth manager Iriola, whether he's going to be in the job or not. If he doesn't beat Burnley this weekend, I think he might lose his job in this game. I'm going with a Burnley win. I think Burnley have got enough up front with a countering. If they can be clinical and finish, I think Burnley will win this. Bournemouth are going to be without Lewis Cook in the middle due to his headbutt last week. He got a red card, so it's going to be a bit of a strange game. I think it will just be down to the fact of who can put the ball in the back of the net, and I think Burnley will put it in the net and they will win 1-0. Next game will be Wolves versus Newcastle, and that's 5:30 kickoff. All the news at the minute is obviously on Tonali, gambling addiction, obviously what's his suspension. As I'm recording this video, it has recently surfaced that he looks like he's going to have a 10-month ban, and I do think that will start this weekend, and I can't see him playing, but obviously we don't know if he will or not. But even if the ban starts this week or not, I don't see him being in the squad or selected anyway. I think he'll be dropped off the team now. Talks of rehab for gambling addiction for 8 months, so let's see how he copes with that. I think the rehab will help him massively. Being out for 10 months, obviously it's a bigger suspension than Ivan Toney. It should never have happened, but if he's got a gambling addiction, he needs help and he needs to be supported by the club and in any way by the Premier League. But back to the game itself, Wolves just had a late winner against Bournemouth last week. That'll give them a lot of confidence going into this game, but Newcastle are unbeaten in the Premier League in the last 5 games, so don't look like they're going to lose in the league at the moment, especially to the sides like Wolves, Bournemouth, all that kind of teams. But Isaac is injured by the looks of things after the Dortmund game. He looked like he pulled his hamstring. Murphy is also unlikely with a shoulder injury or an arm injury. He was down in the Dortmund game as well, so he was subbed off. So both of those unlikely, but I'm still going with a Newcastle win, going 2-1, and I reckon Callum Wilson will get on the scoreline with this one, giving him a full 90 minutes by the looks of things. So, 2-1 Newcastle. The next game will be West Ham versus Everton, and that's on Sunday, 1 o'clock. Obviously, Ashley Young got the red card last week, a bit questionable, but he could be suspended for the game if he hasn't appealed. I don't think they've appealed it, so I think he'll be out suspended. Jordan Pickford looking unlikely with an injury from his thigh. Supposedly he's kicked the ball too hard and it's caused a thigh injury. What keeper kicks the ball too hard, I don't know, but just shows the strength of Pickford. But Begovic looks like he's likely to come into the team and start that game. Calvert-Lewin is potentially back. He looks like he might be coming back to full fitness again after getting a slight knock the other week. He had a week's rest last week, so let's see if he gets included. Creswell looks like a doubt for the game, but I'm sure they'll assess him towards the game on the day. But West Ham, I think they've got just enough to beat Everton in this game. And I think they've got the quality in that side, even with their injuries. I think they can still go on to win 1-0. I think they've just got enough to get past Everton. Everton look like they're back in like a bit of a shape under Dyche. But yeah, West Ham 1-0. Next game is Villa versus Luton. That's a 2 o'clock kickoff. Villa have scored in the last 7 games this season in all competitions. So they've not lost at home at all this season either. So I can't see that happening now. However, they have failed to keep a clean sheet in the last 3 games. So I can see them conceding to Luton, who will be riding on a high after the last game. They were 2-0 down against Forest and they came back 2-2. So they'll definitely be riding high off that. But I'm going to go with a Villa 3-1 win in this game. I think Villa have got enough quality. They're absolutely smashing it this season. I think it was 5th they're in at the minute. And they could get even higher. I don't think they'll finish there. But they can go even higher with the run of games that they've got coming up. Next up, we've got Brighton versus Fulham. That's at 2 o'clock. And Brighton will be without Solly March after he stretched it off against Manchester City last week. A very big miss, I think, in terms of their attacking. But they've got players like Mitoma who can threaten going forward on the wings. Brighton have enough quality to get past them, and I can actually see them getting a first clean sheet this season. They've not kept a clean sheet in any game this season. I can see them getting their first clean sheet, even though Fulham aren't pushovers. They can pull out a good victory every now and again, but I can't see them getting past Brighton, and I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Brighton in this game. Liverpool versus Forest is the next game. That's 2 o'clock also. Origi was potentially returning as at Anfield in this fixture. However, he is out injured, so he's got a hip injury and he won't be doing his Anfield return. Amwaniyi, he looks like he potentially might be back this weekend. I'm sure they'll assess him before the game, but he looks like he could be back for the team and back on the scoring sheet for Forest if they can get him on the pitch and get him into the attacking positions. We already know this season he's been a good finisher, so can he bring the quality in this game against Liverpool? We can only wait and see. Gakpo looks like he could potentially be fit. They're assessing him for the game tonight against Toulouse, so I'm sure we'll see if he will play today, and if he does, then I think he'll start on the weekend. So if they've got the bonus of that and the boost of that, Liverpool, but then you've also got the fact that Salah's just got 2 goals in his last game, and Salah will be wanting to get more goals now and move on and just keep tallying up those goals and try and aim for the golden boot of the season. I'm going to go with a Liverpool 3-0 win. The game you've all been waiting for now, it's the Manchester derby, Manchester United versus Manchester City at 3:30, which is the weirdest kickoff time, but it's supposedly because of the daylight savings time change. But we'll go with it. Whatever time the kickoff is, it doesn't matter. It's the big derby, and it's the biggest derby in the in football. In my opinion, United don't look good at all. Am I scared of this game? Yes. But I always remain hopeful as a Manchester United fan. Am I lying to myself? I might be. But United are Man United for a reason, and they are known around the world for a reason. And whether we're playing awful or not, this is a big game, and the players should turn up for this game. If any game you're going to turn up for, they should turn up for this one. Maguire actually looks okay at the moment. Can he take the pressure from Haaland? We're going to see. We're going to have to wait and see. Could you imagine if Haaland gets pocketed by Maguire? Again, I don't think it's going to happen. But, like I said, Maguire has actually been one of our best players in the last 3 games. So, going into that and taking that on board, the high of this week as well, with Anana's penalty save. Anana will be wanting to play well in this game as well. And then you've also got the fact that We've got players who've never played in a derby before. Højlund, a United fan who wants to play against City and wants to prove himself in the Premier League. He's got his chances to come in this game. Will he take them? I think if we can be clinical up front, we might get the odd chance, but we all know what City can be like. Akanji will miss the game. He has got a red card in the last one, so he will be missed for City. But I think they've got enough centre-backs to cover his position. And then same with the left-backs. They've got Ake, Gvardiol. They've got enough players who can play in those positions that Akanji can also play in. Alvarez and Bernardo have been rested during the week, really. So they'll have a lot of energy, and it's up to United to deal with it. But like I say, I'm going to remain hopeful. I can see a loss for Man United, but I'm going with a draw. I'm going to hold on to that little bit we've got as a United fan to just get past City and get this draw. If we win, I am going to be buzzing my tits off, mate. That's the video, guys. Like I said, we're going with a draw in the derby. I will see you next Tuesday with my review on all those games that I've just mentioned. Please like the video, subscribe, and goodbye. Mwah.